A guy from Germany flew to Pattaya and met a girl. She wasn't just pretty, she was unreal. Perfect skin, long hair down to her waist, a body you don't forget. They spent one night together. No promises, no drama, just Pattaya. 3 weeks later, he was back. Not for the beaches, not for the food, not for the nightlife, for her. And here's the part that changes everything. She wasn't biologically a woman. This isn't a story about deception, because he knew from the start and he didn't care. Stories like this happen in Pattaya every single night. The real question isn't how. The real question is why this city makes normal men cross lines they never even think about back home. And the answer isn't what you think. So, Pattaya, walk down Walking Street or Beach Road in the evening. They're everywhere. Girls who look better than magazine covers, tall, makeup on point, bodies. Just wow. These are Kathy, the third gender in Thai. Lady boys, as the world calls them. And they're not hiding in corners, they're everywhere. In bars, cabarets, restaurants. Walking around with such confidence that everyone's head turns. But hold up. Before you think, okay, I get what this is about, let's dig deeper. This isn't some modern tourist thing. What you're seeing in Pattaya is the result of ancient Thai culture, economics, war, and scientific facts about human attraction that researchers are only now really starting to understand. Let's start with history. To understand Pattaya, you got to understand Thailand. In Thai society, there were never just men and women. There were three genders: male, female, and Kathy. And this wasn't a secret or something forbidden. It was normal life. And here's what matters. Thailand is the only country in Southeast Asia that was never colonized by Europeans. While the British were imposing strict laws against anyone who didn't fit into man-woman boxes all across Asia and Africa, Thais lived by their own rules. While Christian missionaries were forcing rigid gender roles, Thais kept their culture where the third gender existed openly for centuries. In Thai Buddhism, gender isn't constant. It changes from life to life through karma. In one life, you might be a man. In another, a woman. In a third, something in between. The boundaries between male and female are blurred here, not like in the West. This gave space for people who would have been killed in other countries. Kathy were in folk tales, in villages, at festivals. They weren't celebrated, but they weren't kicked out either. They had a place. While in other countries, you'd be burned at the stake for this. And here's where the story takes a sharp turn. Pattaya became the world capital of ladyboys not in ancient times. It happened because of war. 60s and 70s, America's fighting in Vietnam, soldiers need rest. Thailand says, here are your beaches. And Pattaya transformed from a quiet fishing village into an entertainment city literally overnight. Military money flooded in. Bars, clubs, discos, everything popped up in a couple years. Kathy, who were always in society but often broke, suddenly got a chance. Became performers in cabarets, dancers in clubs, hostesses in bars, the whole entertainment industry for foreigners. This is where it all really started. Thai culture met international tourism and Western dollars. The word ladyboy itself appeared then, a marketing term for foreigners who didn't understand Thai concepts but caught the word exotic. What was culture became business, and Pattaya became the center of it all. Now Pattaya has between 5 and 10,000 transgender people. Nobody knows the exact number. Many aren't officially registered under their real gender. Most work in hotels, entertainment, nightclubs. but also tons of people in regular jobs, shops, salons, real estate, restaurants. The city has the world's most famous ladyboy shows, Tiffany's and Alcazar, been running for decades, pulling in hundreds of thousands of tourists every year. Pattaya built a huge chunk of its economy on this. Now the main question, the one everyone wants to ask but feels awkward about, why? Why do normal heterosexual guys, regular dudes with regular lives back home, come to Pattaya and hang out with ladyboys? What's going on in their heads? First, understand this. Men who are attracted to transgender women here aren't one type. They're from 50 countries, young backpackers and retired businessmen. Some are exploring curiosity where it's safe and anonymous. Others specifically come here for transgender partners because nowhere else in the world has this level of access. Some are questioning their orientation. Some are 100% sure they're straight and see no contradiction. This diversity matters because the answer, they're all closeted gays, is stupid and misses the point. Science on human sexuality has discovered things that break old assumptions. Scientists ran an experiment measuring men's physiological responses, showed different visual stimuli, and the results were surprising. In men who considered themselves purely heterosexual, they found an interesting pattern. Their bodies responded not so much to the biological sex in the picture, but to the degree of femininity. In other words, if they saw a figure with pronounced feminine features, long hair, curves, soft facial features, the physiological response was strong, and this worked regardless of whether it was a biological woman or not. The key trigger was visual femininity, not chromosomes. Psychologists put forward a theory. Male libido is evolutionarily tuned to certain visual markers, shapes, facial features, movements, and these markers can be present in people of different biological sexes. The brain reacts to the picture the eyes see, not the DNA hidden inside. This explains why many completely heterosexual men can be attracted to very feminine transgender women, while men don't interest them at all. For them, it's not a contradiction. They're just responding to femininity. But in regular life, this reaction is suppressed by tons of factors. Fear of judgment, social pressure, simply no opportunity to encounter such a situation, internal conflict between what the body feels and what was drilled into the head about right and wrong. Pattaya removes all these barriers at once. Here, thousands of transgender women live openly, a tourist zone where anonymity protects from judgment, a culture where transgender people are the norm, and thousands of guys before you have already walked this path, making it less forbidding, less strange. But let me tell you another thing that explains a huge part of this phenomenon, what nobody talks about straight up. Look at the lady boys working in Pattaya's entertainment districts. Many of them are absolute bombshells, top model level. They invest tons of money into their looks, plastic surgery, laser treatments, hair, designer clothes, professional makeup. They look like they just stepped off a Milan Fashion Week runway. Now, take a typical Pattaya visitor, regular working guy, maybe middle management or an engineer, makes decent money but not millions, average looks, not ugly but not Brad Pitt either. Back home, this guy can't even dream of a girl at top model level. Those beauties run in different circles, business owners, pro athletes, influencers with millions of followers. For a regular guy, that league is closed. But in Pattaya, boom. He walks into a place and girls who look like they just came off a runway approach him, smiling at him, flirting with him, and all for a price he can easily afford. Imagine the feeling, for the first time in your life, feeling desired by that level of beauty that you only saw on Instagram before. It's a massive emotional experience. This accessibility changes all the rules. Back home, the same guy can spend months on Tinder, hit the gym, buy expensive clothes, and still get rejected by girls who aren't even half as beautiful. His chances are strictly limited by salary, looks, status. But here, boom, all barriers collapse. What seemed like an impossible fantasy suddenly becomes real for reasonable money. And here's an important point. With ladyboys, the dynamics are different than with biological women of the same beauty level. A real supermodel knows her value in the market. She can dictate terms, choose from hundreds of suitors, demand expensive gifts. But ladyboys, despite their beauty, are in a more vulnerable position because of Thai society. The paradox: looks like $1,000,000, but accessible to a guy with a regular salary. Many Kathy are from Isan, the poorest region in the Northeast. There, families live on rice fields earning pennies. When a Kathy child is born in the family, parents understand, can't find work in the village. They send them to Pattaya or Bangkok, where there's at least a chance to earn in the entertainment industry and send money home. For many, it's a choice between survival and poverty. That's why in Pattaya's nightlife, there are so many stunningly beautiful transgender women ready to interact with foreigners for money that's pocket change for a European or American, but a month's income for their parents in the village. City authorities figured this out long ago and turned it into a brand. Cabaret shows, go-go bars, massage parlors, all parts of a well-oiled machine. This didn't grow spontaneously. It's a built system bringing the city billions of baht a year. The internet spread Pattaya's fame worldwide. Early 2000s, first forums where guys shared experiences. Then YouTube, social media, now thousands of videos, guides, reviews. Info spreads like an avalanche. One guy comes, tells his friends, they tell theirs, and the machine runs itself. Thailand became a mecca for gender confirmation surgery. Some of the world's best surgeons and lowest prices. This attracted thousands of transgender people from across the planet and boosted Thailand's image even more as a country where gender diversity is treated normally. Cabaret shows played their role. Tiffany's and others. Professional productions. Transgender performers in fancy costumes dancing and performing. Spectacular, beautiful. This normalizes transgender visibility, shows ladyboys as talented, beautiful people who get applause. For tourists who are shy or just curious, cabarets provide safe first contact. No adult context, just a show. But after, performers are available for photos and chatting. A bridge between entertainment and something more personal. There's also the element of fantasy and escape from reality. Pattaya is a tourist place built on stepping outside normal life. Guys come to do what they wouldn't do at home. The city positions itself as a place where normal rules don't apply, where you can try something new without judgment. For those interested in ladyboys, this atmosphere provides maximum psychological safety. Nobody will find out. Neighbors won't ask. Family won't suspect. Tourism anonymity creates a bubble where experiments feel safe. But important point, not everything in Pattaya is safe and honest. Many Kathy in legit establishments are honest about themselves, especially in cabarets and verified bars. But the street scene is a different story. And here's the question. How do you even tell if someone's a ladyboy? Let's go through the signs. First, looks can be too perfect. Flawless makeup, porcelain skin, hair like a shampoo commercial, curves like drawn. Sometimes ladyboys look even more glamorous than real women. It's their job to look perfect. If something looks too good to be true, it probably is. Second, height and proportions. Most Thai women are petite. If the girl in front of you is tall with broad shoulders and long legs, there's a chance she's not biologically female, especially if the body proportions are more athletic than delicate. Third, hands, feet, jawline. These body parts stay masculine even after tons of surgery. Big hands, large feet, defined jaw, signs that are hard to change surgically. Fourth, voice, the main giveaway. Many ladyboys train their voice to sound soft and high. Some succeed great, others not so much. But when they laugh or get emotional, a deeper, raspier tone often slips through. Listen to the laugh, yell, whisper. That's usually where you hear it. Fifth, behavior. Since ladyboys weren't born women, they often try harder to be feminine. Exaggerated gestures, playing with hair, hip swaying, dramatic eye contact. They want to be seen, to stand out. Real Thai women, especially in public, are usually more modest and reserved. If she's too loud, too bold, too seductive, it might be calculated, not just confidence. And here's what most people realize too late. Surgery in Thailand is so advanced, you can't tell visually. Yeah, this has happened many times. Surgery here is top level. The only way to know for sure is to look very carefully. But if you've gotten to that point, you're already in too deep. Ask, is everything real? Most ladyboys will smile and say, yes. A rehearsed answer. They've heard this question 100 times and know what to say to keep the fantasy going. One way to check, through social media. Ask for Instagram or Facebook. Scroll through old photos. If you see childhood pics, teenage years, or sharp physical changes, it'll all become clear. If they refuse to show social media or say they don't use it, start asking yourself questions. The thing is, many ladyboys are honest if you ask straight up. They'll say, yeah, I'm a ladyboy. You cool with that? But if someone's lying or dodging the topic, it usually means they want something from you. Money, a hookup, a scam. Honesty is normal when there's no hidden agenda. But if they're hiding it, red flag. About locations, some say only ladyboys work on Beach Road. Not true. Real Thai women work there too, especially freelancers. Can't judge by location alone. But remember, ladyboys who approach you on the street, especially late at night, are often part of something bigger. Freelancers on Beach Road and Walking Street late at night often work in groups. Some are into theft, scams, real cases. Tourists got tricked and robbed, worked in pairs. One distracts, the other picks pockets. Be alert. And despite appearances, remember, biologically, most ladyboys are still guys. Male muscle structure and strength. There are viral videos where a ladyboy tosses a grown man around. If it gets to a fight, you're not fighting a delicate woman. You're fighting a guy who just looks like a woman. The difference is shocking. Best advice for those going to Pattaya: don't get wasted. Don't pick up random people on the street. Don't be shy to ask direct questions. Don't judge by looks alone. And never be aggressive if you discover something unexpected. Found a ladyboy in your room and you're not into it? Calm. Politely ask them to leave. Pay a little if needed, just don't get angry. That's how real problems start. So what's the real answer? Why did Pattaya become a global phenomenon? It's the intersection of tons of factors. Thai culture created space for gender diversity long before the rest of the world. War economy turned a fishing village into an international entertainment hub. Human attraction is more complex and flexible than rigid, straight gay categories. Tourist anonymity gives permission to explore hidden desires. And critically, the accessibility factor. Regular guys can get attention from model level beauty for prices they can afford. Something absolutely impossible at home. The paradox of Pattaya, it's simultaneously a place of freedom and exploitation, liberation and struggle. For transgender people, the city provides community, income, visibility, but also challenges, discrimination, economic vulnerability. For visiting guys, it's discovery and pleasure, mixed with complex ethical questions about what they're participating in. These contradictions live side by side on neon lit streets every night. One thing's certain, Pattaya is something unique on the planet. A place where centuries old Thai concepts of gender flexibility collided with modern capitalism, tourism, psychology, global connectivity. A place where thousands of guys from every continent come for an experience they can't get anywhere else, with people they won't meet anywhere else. Is it liberation or exploitation? Or something much more complicated? Depends on how you look at it. But to understand, you need to look honestly at all the layers: history, culture, economics, human psychology, and the universal desire for beauty, connection, validation that everyone has. Remember that German guy from the beginning? He's been back to Pattaya 17 times in 4 years. And he's not alone. There are guys who come every year, every couple months. Some move there permanently. Pattaya doesn't let go once it shows you something inside yourself you didn't know existed. Here's my question for you. What do you think drives this phenomenon more? Cultural acceptance that makes it possible, or economic accessibility that makes it irresistible? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if this deep dive was useful, hit subscribe. We dig into the real stories of Thailand that nobody talks about honestly. See you in the next one.